Unit 4 4A.1. My idea of a break is peace and quiet, living in the middle of a big city. What I really miss is hearing the birds in the trees or the waves on the shore. The quieter the better as far as I'm concerned. On the other hand, I also like being pampered a little. It's great to get away from the endless cooking and housework. Fabricius had a bit different. What he likes is sitting out bright and early to do things. He loves going surfing or climbing or exploring the local area. I prefer just getting up late, relaxing, and doing nothing. But what he both loves is going around in a big group of tourists like a herd of sheep. For me, a crowd of tourists with their cameras just spoils the experience, even if the most incredible places. 4B.2. Did you hear the story in the news about the guy who went missing in his canoe? Yeah, I saw something about that on the news, but I didn't really pay much attention. What happened? Well, he went out in his canoe one day and never came back. And then when his blue canoe was discovered on the beach a few weeks later, they declared him dead. So anyway, now he's reported after 10 years missing, and they are saying that he faked his own death. Why would he do that? It was all an insurance fraud, apparently. Yeah, but how could he claim insurance if he was supposed to be dead? His wife did it. After he was declared dead, she claimed his pensions and life insurance. They got £500,000 out of it. And where was the guy all this time? Well, he's been for years hiding in a secret apartment in their house, and then went off to Brazil, and then she went off to Brazil to join him. So how were they caught in the end? It seems that they had a fight about something out there in Brazil, and he decided to return to England, and he went into a police station and said he'd forgotten everything, had amnesia, couldn't remember the last 5 years. And didn't they believe him? Well, no, because then a photo was published in the papers and it showed the couple smiling at the camera in Brazil. So that was it. And eventually the whole story came out. Sounds like they were a bit stupid having photos taken of themselves. Yeah, maybe, but I guess it's just too difficult to keep a secret like that forever. True, if I were him, I'd want to get in touch with friends, let them know I'm still around. Yeah, exactly. And this guy had 2 daughters, and they thought he was dead. Really? Yeah, it must be hard to them. 4C.1. Hell, my dream test was horrible. I mean, I'd been doing fine until I looked into the mirror and saw a police car coming behind me. That made me really nervous. You know what I mean. And I was looking in the mirror so much that I didn't notice a traffic light on red in front of me. So I had to put my foot really hard on the brake in order to stop. Then, at the end of the test, when I was turning into the test center, I saw like a brain injured bird on the road, and so I turned the steering wheel hard to right and hit a post, a signpost or whatever, on the pavement. I mean, the car wasn't badly damaged or anything, but I failed the test. I don't know what happened to the bird. Nick, I didn't actually pass my driving test the first time. I think I was a bit unlucky, actually, because I done everything right. You know, I just started on a hill, no problem. I done an emergency stop and all that stuff. And then the last thing was the instructor asked me to reverse around the corner. And I'd been practicing this for months. You know, because I knew this was part of the test and I felt confident about it. The thing is, I didn't notice that there was a line of parked motorbikes around the corner, and I reversed into them. And I hit the first one, and that fell over and hit the second one, and so on. And they all fell down like a row in dominoes. There were like 6 of them or something. The structure stopped the test immediately, so obviously I fell. Megumi. I remember like the instructor on my driving test asked me to read the number plate of the gray Toyota. And I mean, it's like I don't know the names of cars and stuff. Toyota, Ford, Volkswagen. It's all the same to me. And all cars are gray these days. You know, so I read the number plate. Oh, the wrong car. Yeah, and it's pity because my eyesight's really good, in fact. But anyway, I explained that the instructor, and it was a bit embarrassing, but it was fine in the end. And I'd been practicing a lot, so I had no problem with turning and stepping and all that. So I passed first time, so it was cool. Let 4D.2. Okay, well, this song is called Follow the Drinking Girl. The Drinking Girl was in fact the name of a The Drinking Girl was in fact the name of a well-known pattern of stars, and people used to use this pattern of stars to show them which way was the north, because the last two stars in the pattern point towards the North Star. So really, what the song is saying is, go north. Now, near the beginning of the song, it talks about when the sun comes back and when the first quiet calls. When the sun comes back means at the end of winter or the beginning of spring, when the sun starts to get higher in the sky, and this is also the time of year when you hear the first calls of this bird. The quiet, so what the song is saying is start traveling in spring. Now, in order to understand this, you need to know something about geography. The Slaves' Escape road to the north was cut by a large river flowing from east to west, the Ohio River, and in order to cross this river, the slaves had to wait till winter when the surface was frozen into solid ice and they could walk across. Now, it took nearly a year for them to reach the Ohio River from the cotton fields, so in order to reach the river when it was frozen, they would need to leave the previous spring. Okay, later in the song we see a reference to an old man and also to left foot, back foot. This was a man who disagreed with slavery, so he used to help the slaves to escape and was disabled. He only had one leg and the other was a wooden leg. They called this man Père Leg Dieu, and he would show the slaves the way to go by putting a mark on the trees. So that's why the song talks about the dead trees will show you the way. The song would say that the river bank would show you the way. Now, this river is the Tombigbee River, and it was a good route to follow because it flows directly from north to south. And also, it was good to walk beside a river because if the slaves hunters came near with their dogs, the slaves would go in the water so the dogs couldn't smell them. Later in the song, it says the river ends between two hills, so is where the river Tombigbee ends, and the song tells the escaped slave to continue between the hills and then follow another river, the tiniest river in fact, and they could follow this river until they reached the great river, which is the high river, and then hopefully they could walk across the ice. Once once they were on the other side, the journey was a lot safer because there was a secret organization there to help them, gave them food and shelter. It was called the Underground Railroad, and they could help the slaves to reach Canada.